what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV today. It's Extreme Rules weekend. It is Friday the 13th. Look out, everybody. Make sure your good luck is in your back pocket, and there might be some good luck going on in the women's division of the WWE, as we got a ladies-centric episode today. WWE with some big plans in the works, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and Podbean, baby. It's the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. You know you love it. Let's do it for the ladies.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. It's ladies' night, and the feel is right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, say it, oh, what a night. What's up, gang? My name is Nick Nightmare. Thank you for joining me. Along with me, as always, is the best tag team a man could ever have, Thor, the wrestling god of thunder, the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and my little buddy, my most trusted companion in the whole entire world, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball. Thank you guys for checking out this very special episode for the ladies. We love our ladies. I love women's wrestling, and today we have got a lot of news pertaining to the women's division and something that is a possibility that I am absolutely for. 100%. Everything today is coming at you courtesy of our friends at the Pro Wrestling Sheet and my good friend Ryan Satin. Thank you guys as always for providing us with the great news that you always do. God damn, I am excited to bring you guys this news today. Pro Wrestling Sheet has learned the WWE officials are internally discussing the idea of presenting an all-women's event for main roster talent coming this fall. As you may recall, women were not allowed to participate in the WWE's Greatest Royal Rumble event earlier this year in Saudi Arabia. Sources tell us the company might make up for that controversial decision. However, as the idea of an all-women's show taking place in late September or October is seriously being kicked around by the higher-ups, it's unclear if the event would additionally feature some of the women on the NXT roster, outside talent, or former stars, because the show has yet to be set in stone. Listen up right now. I am 100% in favor of this happening. The only thing I don't like about it is there were reports that the TLC October pay-per-view was being moved to December and they were going to put something else in its stead. I was very hopeful for a Halloween Havoc, that they have registered the trademark of it recently, and I was very, very looking forward to them possibly bringing back one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite, WCW pay-per-view other than Starrcade. So the only negative I could see is that, but if you want to bring to me an all-women's event, there is only one way to do it. I don't want to see you come out and call it WWE Ladies Night. Don't be cliche. Have some creativity. I don't want to hear Girls Night Out or some stupid agenda-driven bullshit jogging name. All you have to do is follow the mold that is being set by the Mae Young Classic, which we are going to talk about at the end of the show. Give me a tournament of women. Call it the Queen of the Ring. And for the first time ever, you crown a Queen of the Ring. It is a successful mold. You can have it all take place in one night if you want to really sell it as something important. The girl that wins this thing will have had to have gone through 3 or 4 matches in one night. Look at the success of the Mae Young Classic. I think that's what the girls on the main roster kind of are envious of. Like these tournaments and these things that are going on every summer that are featuring independent talent and sometimes returning superstars that are trying to get a second run in the WWE, it really elevates them over the girls that are on the main roster right now because they're not even allowed to wrestle the way they should be wrestling. What we get on the main roster is not women's wrestling. What we get at the Mae Young Classic and in NXT is absolutely women's wrestling, and that would be fantastic. If you want to make up to the girls for not having them be on that ridiculous Greatest Royal Rumble, I think that was the best gift they could have actually given them, was to actually not be on the Greatest Royal Rumble, don't you think? Because that show was horrendous, and it was useless, and it meant absolutely nothing. Look at what it did for Braun Strowman. Nothing. It did absolutely nothing. So I don't want to see the women's thing fall under the same category of the Greatest Royal Rumble and how they made mistakes that way. I need it to be a tournament, and it needs to be the Queen of the Ring. It needs to be. It needs to be. You want to generate interest. You want to have something special. That's it. And I say absolutely you bring in NXT talent. And my pick to win this whole thing already is not Ronda Rousey. Please, God, you do not give the Queen of the Ring, first time ever, to Alexa Bliss. I don't want to see her win this thing. I don't want to see Carmella win this thing. I don't even think Asuka should win this thing. I say you bring on Shayna Baszler. By the time October rolls around, she'll probably be ready to come up to the main roster. You're going to have Ronda Rousey with full momentum. You get the Queen of Spades from NXT, the women's champion, the reigning women's champion for all this time. Probably will be up until then. Maybe she loses to Kairi Sane at SummerSlam weekend or something like that, and then you keep her off TV until October rolls around, and you have her make her main roster debut at the Queen of the Ring, and she wins the whole goddamn thing, and you set that up. Ronda Rousey, Raw Women's Champion, versus the Queen of the Ring at the Royal Rumble. Or at Survivor Series, whatever's going to come next. It's a great way to bring up the next number one contender. And if you allow these girls to wrestle and don't make them hold back, let them show the world what they're truly capable of. You let Sasha Banks get far. Maybe her and Bayley cancel each other out, and you can continue that if that ever picks up steam again. Get it away from therapy and get it in the ring and let them start kicking ass, just like we want to see from everybody that would be involved. I don't want to see a stupid pay-per-view where we're just going to have a bunch of random matches where we're going to have to rely on WWE Creative to sell me on something interesting with 8 to 9 women's matches. That's not going to be possible. Doesn't matter if it's tag team. You're going to debut possibly the women's tag team division that night. Maybe give us some women's tag team champions. You don't have enough girls to do that. All you need to do is formulate a 16-woman tournament, maybe have the preliminary rounds before the final event, and you have the Queen of the Ring. It's the only way to go. Anything less than that will be a failure. It will be a failure. I don't care if you book it all mega matches. What mega matches are we going to have? Sasha and Bayley for the 100,000th time. Possibly Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch is something I would be interested in seeing if they built it right. And what faith do you have in them to actually do that? I have none. So if you put the tournament situation in play, like I said, follow the mold of the Mae Young Classic, and this whole thing will go over like gangbusters, and the girls will finally get a night that they deserve in the spotlight, and at the end of it all, a superstar will be made. So you can't give it to somebody that's already pretty much established. Becky Lynch would be a great first time ever Queen of the Ring, but she's already Becky Lynch. Give it to the person that is coming up that needs that next level push. Maybe it's not Shayna Baszler. Maybe you leave her down there. Maybe you bring it and give it to Kairi Sane. She's the first ever winner of the Mae Young Classic. She has tournament experience. She could go all the way and it would be believable. There's so many things they could do if they do a Queen of the Ring, and if it's not, then I may not even be interested at all. So this is going to be happening in October or September. Hopefully it doesn't derail a possible return for Halloween Havoc, which is something I'm still very hopeful for. And this is definitely not to be confused with the actual second annual Mae Young Classic in 2018, which is coming at us in August. And we have got some news on that, as the first 6 competitors have been announced yesterday. Or, I'm sorry, earlier today, because today, like I said, is Friday the 13th, and I got this news real early this morning, and I wanted to get this out there as soon as possible, and then I read about the all-women's event, and I said, what a great way to bring one whole episode together. So let's talk about some more ladies stuff, as I love my ladies, and we're going to talk about the Mae Young Classic second annual and their first 6 competitors, widely known already. Caitlyn, also known as Celeste Bonin, is returning to the WWE for the second annual Mae Young Classic. She looks fantastic. She looks a lot better than she did when she left. She looks like she got her body in shape. She's rocking a one-color hairdo, not that two-tone madness that was very popular back in the 2000s. I really, really hope that this is the redemption story, like we saw with Serena Deeb last year. I think the fans will get behind it. Do we really need to see Caitlyn on the main roster? No. Is she going to move the needle? Absolutely not. Do most people even remember who Caitlyn is? Probably not. I happen to, because I actually thought she was attractive and I kind of had a thing for her, but that was coming off of the fact that there was nobody else in the women's division at that time that was even mildly attractive to me. I'm not a Kelly guy. Trish Stratus was gone and I didn't know what to do. So she was like my next in line for some reason, and then she unceremoniously left the company, and now she is going to have her comeback story. ESPN first reported Caitlyn's inclusion in the upcoming tournament, and the wrestler told them, and I quote, "The thing that got me through as a rookie in the WWE, and the thing that allowed me to achieve my level of success was my attitude, and looking back now, I am coming back with experience. I am certainly nervous because the level of competition is so much higher, and there are so many different women from around the world, and they bring different skill levels, but it's just so exciting." For those of you who don't recall, she left the WWE in 2014. She remained retired from the ring, like everybody says they are, until earlier this year. I am all for her return. I can't wait to see the Mae Young Classic again. It was one of the most fun things I experienced all last summer. I had a ball covering it. We will be covering it in its entirety, as we always do here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss anything coming all summer long. Looks like it's going to be a very busy summer once again, and I need you guys to be here with me for that. Hot off the heels of that, we had more news coming. Following the news of Caitlyn's inclusion, we had 5 more ladies announced. This also coming from the Pro Wrestling Sheet. Kathy Kelly made the announcement on WWE.com, and the following names have been made official. Casey Catanzaro, the American Ninja Warrior star who recently signed with the WWE. I love that show, American Ninja Warrior. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering who she is, but I do have to go back and look to make sure that I know or that I am correct. But she should be pretty good. If it's who I'm thinking, she's going to be a beast in this thing. Then the next is Ginny. Ginny is the current Progress Women's Champion. That's some pretty hard competition coming in there. We have Io Shirai, a popular Stardom wrestler who recently made her WWE debut when they were over in Japan. I didn't see that, so I don't know anything about her. Nicole Matthews, a 12-year veteran on the mat and in the indie wrestling scene, who was an alternate for the Mae Young Classic last year, but obviously didn't make the main cut. These 4 women will join the 2 who were already made official earlier this week. The one we talked about earlier, Caitlyn, and the first-year participant returning for a second try, Rhea Ripley, who was absolutely fantastic. She's a tall drink of water. She was athletic as hell, and I really thought she was going to go a little bit further. She was very, very good. Love to see her once again in the second edition. I hope a couple of more girls from last year return and get a second chance at winning this thing, and I'm very interested to see who else they're going to be pulling in from all around the world, because last year's field was absolutely fantastic. I am so looking forward to this. The Mae Young Classic 2, the 2018 edition, will be filmed on August 8th and 9th from Full Sail Live in Orlando, Florida. So like I said, ladies, a lot to be excited about this summer. Looks like we're going to have some big moves coming your way, and I am looking forward to it. I love women's wrestling. This has been the best thing for women's wrestling, the Mae Young Classic I'm referring to. It is yet to be determined. When we get more information about this women's event, you know for sure we will be bringing it to you. just like we will be coming at you a little bit later on today, or possibly I'll put it up tomorrow since we've been so busy today. We already had the Extreme Rules preview go up this morning. We got this one dropping right now. We got another story coming at you talking about how Ring of Honor is making some history and making some decisions for me very difficult come this April as they fight and defeat the beast that is Vince McMahon. We're going to talk about that as Ring of Honor gets their shot at Madison Square Garden. Totally fantastic freaking news. I can't wait to talk about that. Don't forget to be here for everything else this weekend. If you missed the Raw and the SmackDown reviews, they are live this week as well. Everything we talked about last weekend, from Eric Bischoff shooting on Brock Lesnar in the Universal Championship all the way to Daniel Bryan possibly making his exit, and it may begin this Sunday at Extreme Rules. Check out everything on the channel, and don't forget to check out the best subscription box show on the planet, the Subscription Box Showdown. We had an absolutely great episode. The June edition dropped a little late, but we debuted this SBS Heavyweight Championship title belt, which you see over my shoulder that Seth Rollins is wearing. If you want to see it up close and personal and see who won this month, make sure you check that out. Don't forget, as always, if you are still with me at this time, to make sure you subscribe to keep tabs on everything in professional wrestling that you need to know, because when you want your wrestling news, we bring down the hammer as hard as we can, and we give you justice for the world of professional wrestling. Thank you guys all so very much for being here. Don't forget to like this video, share this video with all your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, and most importantly, just like they should do, subscribe to this channel. Let's get this channel to 1K before SummerSlam, please, because I am so tired of waiting to get to 1,000. You guys are awesome enough. All you got to do is smash that subscribe button. Join the Sledgehammer Club today. It'll be one of the best things you ever done. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that you do not miss a single episode all weekend long and all summer long, as we aim to bring to you the absolute best all summer long. You talk about the biggest party of the summer. It's not happening in the Barclays at SummerSlam. It's happening right here on Sledgehammer TV, so make sure you are on board so you don't miss a darn thing. If you are listening to us on our audio shows, which are available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and Podbean, baby. Oh, don't forget to get your eyeballs to youtube.com/Sledgehammer TV and join everybody else in subscribing over there. Like us and, follow us and do all the things you have to do over there on those audio platforms. But most importantly to me, join me here on YouTube so you can see all the fun that we have on this show each and every single week. My name is Nick Nightmare. I don't know if I said that already. This is Thor, the wrestling god of thunder, the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My little buddy, the world heavyweight champion of microphones, Mr. Blue the Snowball. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's weekend update, little mini-sode about the ladies. Thank you guys so much for being here. That is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you all weekend long for the best wrestling coverage around right here on Sledgehammer TV.